Hey everyone, this is Tom Kraz. Today I'm going to kick off a new series of 5-minute snippets around Burpsuite. I will have my blog to accompany this for details of the commands used and some more examples. If you find this interesting, please like and subscribe. The first snippet I'm going to do today is around the core components of Burpsuite for beginners. So let's get into it. This is the main interface for Burpsuite. We've got the proxy, we've got the dashboard. Inside the dashboard is pretty much all the information, but it's not much good unless you have the enterprise version, which we don't have at this stage. We go into targets. So these are all websites that we visited inside our web browser that's connected to Burpsuite. We can look at websites and we can dig down deeper to all the different pages we've visited. If we click on the website itself, we see a list of all the different gets that we've run against it. This is the proxy. This is key. We'll get more into this in a minute. This is the intruder. I will skip this for now because we're not going to use it. This is the repeater. Again, we'll get into this with an example. It's quite good. It allows us to repeat code over and over again. This is the sequencer. We're not going to get into this at the moment. This is the decoder. This allows us to take clear text and encode it or decode it into other types of code like ASCII or gzip. Let's take an example here. Let's type in test. Encode it as base64. And the nice thing is you can build up on this in a chain, so you can decode that back into clear text. So if we decode it as base64, we get the word test back again. Then we have our comparer. This allows us to compare the HTML from two different websites. And we've got a logger. Yeah, this pretty much logs everything. We have our extender, which allows plugins. And we have configuration items, which we're not really going to focus on right now. Let's get into an example here, okay? Let's open up our proxy, and we'll open up a web browser on a page. If you look at this page, it says, new site is coming in 20 days, 6 hours. And there are two buttons, notify me and about us. Nothing too interesting here, but let's use Burpsuite and load it up. Let's tidy up our desktop a bit. Yeah, it's a bit messy. Linux isn't really good at this kind of thing. It's getting better, but this is not great. Okay, side by side. Let's turn the interceptor on. Interceptor will capture all the traffic coming from our web page. And let's reload. Now, okay, we've got some HTML code. All looks pretty standard except for this cookie, which looks like it's base64 encoded. Looks like it because I'm just used to looking at these kinds of things. Keep doing this and you'll get used to it too. Okay, so let's send all this to the repeater with Control R. Inside the repeater, we can click send, and that will send our header all the way over to the website, and this will return all our HTML code that will be rendered into our final page. Inside our page, we can see a comment saying upload images link if enable uploader set. This looks like some sort of cookie header. I guess this is related to the base64 encoded cookie we just saw. So let's take a closer look at this and see what we can do. If we copy, well, not necessarily copy, if we select and we right click and we send this cookie to the decoder, let's see what we can decode it as. So we'll try base64. Hey, look, there's our enable uploader cookie. Okay, and yeah, it matches. Let's see if we can do something here. If we go back to the decoder, if I can only find it. Okay, there we go. If we go back to the decoder, we can notice that false is after the equal sign. So we don't need to replace the whole thing. We only need to replace the piece after the equal sign. What happens if we type in true, because we want to replace it with true? We decode that as base64, copy it back over to the repeater, replace the false base64 with a true base64, resend the page. Down we go. Look at the comment again. We have a new section underneath here. We've got some really strange named PHP file. Okay, let's go back to the proxy and replace the base64 code with our new code, and this is actually in our browser. Let's tidy up our screen a bit again. As you can see, Linux doesn't remember this stuff very well. So send it on. Now we've got our page back, and look, we've got a brand new upload button. So, my name is Tom Kraz. Thanks very much for joining me. You'll find more information over at my blog. The link is in the description. Any comments, please add them below. And I'm out of here. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.